we will continue. This is a different topic. It is based on percentage, but it is on compound interest. The compound interest is calculated by using the method of simple interest, which you have done in previous class. So I will be explaining two methods which you have to apply. One is the normal long method and one is the formula method. So you will be given to solve the question based on a formula or based on the normal method. So let's start. If you have not subscribed the channel, please subscribe and get updated with the new courses on different maths and science topics. So exercise 8.3, question number 1, it says calculate the amount and compound interest. So what is compound interest? To just understand a quick meaning of the compound interest. The compound interest is calculated. It is called compound because it is the interest which is calculated in parts. So whenever you keep any money in the bank, then the bank gives you money in the form of interest, and the interest which is given is calculated as the simple interest. So what is the difference between simple interest and compound interest? The interest which is paid as a simple way means the interest which is calculated at the end of the full time, like you borrow money for 2 years and then you deposit the money after 2 years. The interest which you will pay after 2 years will be called simple. But now the banks have started giving interest and borrowing interest in parts. So the interest which is given in 6 months, then after another 6 months, then after another 6 months is called the interest in part, and that is called compound interest. That is the difference. So how do you calculate the compound interest? Let's see in exercise 8.3. So the first question is calculate the amount and compound interest. Calculate the amount and compound interest on a principal of rupees. So what is the simple interest formula? You have already used a formula which is called the simple interest formula. The simple interest formula which you have used in the previous classes is principal into time into rate upon 100. Now let's understand this formula itself. P is called the principal. Now what is the meaning of this principal? It is the total money which you have borrowed or given to someone. When you borrow some money from the bank or keep money in the bank, then the money which you deposit or borrow is called the principal amount. And T is used for how many years you have kept the money or borrowed the money. R is used for the rate of interest, which is given in percent. Time is given in years, and then we calculate SI. The SI is the simple interest. Then we will use another term which is called the A or the amount. When you will solve this question, you will understand it better. These are the terms which we will use, and how are they used, that you have to see. So in 8.3, the first question is calculate the amount and compound interest on the first part, which is given P principal is given rupees 10,800. This is the principal at a rate of 12.5%. This is the rate of interest, and it is time of 3 years. It is kept or borrowed for 3 years. So we have got 3 things in this question. We have to calculate what is the amount. So 2 things we have to find: amount and the compound interest. So how will you calculate that? See the step. which is used to find it. So we will find the simple interest calculated on the total money, which is 10,800 for 3 years. So we will calculate the simple interest for the 3 years. So in compound interest, we calculate the interest for each year and then we add it. So watch the steps which I have followed. I am calculating the time of 3 years. I am dividing it into 1 year, then 1 year and 1 year. So if you calculate for the whole 3 years, it will be called simple interest for 3 years. But we are calculating compound interest, so we will calculate interest for every year, first year, then second year and third year. So how it is done? We will calculate the simple interest for first year. Then we will calculate simple interest for second year. So see the step. The simple interest for the first year is calculated by using the formula PTR upon 100. The same formula which is given, this formula I am using. And we will put the value as principal, which is 10,800 into time. Time is 1 year, calculating for only 1 year. And rate is 12.5%. Now 12.5%, I have to change it into a fraction. This is mixed fraction. So I will use this rate of interest per annum. So principal is 10,800. Time is 1 year because I am calculating for 1 year, then again 1 year, and then so for each year we will use time as 1. And the rate is 25 upon 2. And this 100 will come here only. So it will become 10,800 into 1 into 25 upon 2. And now I will simplify. So when I simplify, it becomes 54. So we will get the simple interest as 54 into 125. When you multiply, you will get the answer, which is the simple interest for 1 year. So calculate the simple interest, and that will give you the simple interest for the first year. So what is the interest which you get for the first year on 10,000? Because the rate of interest is 25 upon 2. So when we multiply, we will see that the answer is coming 6750, which is the interest for the first year. So watch the steps. First you will divide because we are finding the compound interest, you will divide the time of 3 years into 3 parts because you are calculating the compound interest. And since you are calculating the compound interest, you will find the interest for first year, then second year, and then third year. So I am calculating the interest for first year by using this formula, where I will put the formula of 10,800, which is the principal, into time into rate upon 100. When I multiply and divide, it becomes 54 into 25. When I multiply it, it becomes 1350. Interest for the first year is 1350. This means if you have borrowed or kept money in the bank, after 1 year you will have to pay this much interest. And if you continue the money in the bank, then for the second year, so we will calculate what is the simple interest for first year. Then now, since we are keeping the money continuously for 3 years, we will find interest for second year now. But for the second year, the interest and the principal will change. Earlier the principal was 10,800. Now the principal will become more. So what will be the principal? The principal for second year will become 10,800 plus 1350. This will become the total. Now why are we adding? Because you have earned this much interest, so this will be added to the principal. So when you add, it becomes 12,150, which is the principal. Now if you have kept money in the bank for the second year, you will calculate the simple interest for second year, and the formula is same. We have calculated interest for first year, same formula I will use for second year, but now the principal, which was 10,000, has become 12,000. So I will put this value 25 upon 100. Now when I simplify, it divides. So it is now 12150 divided by 4. So when I divide this, it will give 2, and there is 2 also because it is 25 upon 2. So it is 25 into 4, and then 4, and then 2 is also there. So this 2 which we have used, this is 25 upon 2. We will divide this, and then it gives you this number. Same thing we will do here, 12150, because I have added this. This will be multiplied P into T into R. Where is this 1? Because it is the second year. And why I have kept 1 year? Why I have not taken 2? Because 1 year, second year is taken as full 1 year. So first year we have calculated, second year we are calculating, it is 1 into R. R is 25 upon 2. And when I will use it, it is becoming 4 into 2, and it will become 8. So 8 So now you are seeing that the interest is coming more. First it came 1350. Now the interest should come more because the principal is more. So when I divide, it comes 8, 7. Now it will come in decimal, and roughly 1518.7. So this interest is coming more than 1350. Then this interest we will add, like we have calculated principal. So we will calculate the principal for third year. So what is the principal for third year? It will become 12150 plus 1518.7. Like we added, same way principal for third year, interest will be added. And then after we have added, what do you get? The principal for third year. Then what will you do? Then you will calculate what is the interest for the third year. So this will give you now it will come in 0.7 and something, but I am keeping it as roughly 5 or 7 only. So this is the principal which is more than the second year. Principal for first year was 10,800. Second year principal became 12,000. Third year principal becomes 13,000. Why is this increasing? Because everything is increasing. The number which we have used has changed because we are adding it. Now what we will do, we will calculate simple interest now for third year. So simple interest for third year is equal to PTR upon 100, which will become, principal is 13668.7 into time into rate upon 100 into 2, 25 upon 2. When you will simplify, you will get the simple interest for the third year. Then you will find the compound interest. So how will you find the compound interest? We will find simple interest for the first year. Then we will add simple interest for second year. And then we will add simple interest for the third year. When you add these three, you will get the compound interest. This will be the answer for the first part. It is a bit lengthy, but this is how it is done by the normal method. And then the question says what is the amount? So you will just add this compound interest. We have to find amount. So to find amount, you will just add the principal and the compound interest. Which principal? The principal which we started. So the principal which you started 10,000, and then you will add the compound interest. So the three interests which you have found plus the principal. So third interest you have to simplify here, and then add the three simple interests for the first year, second year and third year. Add the simple interest of first year, add the simple interest of second year, add the interest of third year. This will give you the compound interest. When you add this with the first principal, you will get the amount. This is how we do the question of compound interest. This is the normal long method of finding the compound interest. So hope you have understood. You can try the next part of finding the compound interest by the normal method, and then we will continue with the next part. In the next part of this book, there are questions which are based on finding the compound interest where the formula is slightly changed. If you read, the first part is compounded annually, second part is compounded annually, so both are annually, so method is same. In the next session, we will understand how do you find the compound interest when it is compounded half yearly. This is important. Then there are some other parts, but you will understand them one by one, and then understanding will be. You can revise, and if you have any comment or query, you can type below the video and you will get the query resolved. See you in the next class.